喂，1234123412341234124，兩支，喂12341234124，哇！對面啲樓好靚，俾啲你，好2號，
1、2、3、1、2、3、1、2、3。
喂呀
！1、2、3，試咪。你而家係咪錄緊啊
？2號。
而家係咪錄緊啲嘢啊
？2號啊！2號測試1、2、3、4，咪2、2、3、4，1、2、3、4，好。喂，1號咪，1號測試1、2、3、4，1號測試，1號插閘聲，喂1、2、3、4，1、2、3、4，1、2、3、4，OK 未？1號測試，1號測試，1號測試1號，1、2、3、4，喂。
咪 test 唔好亂講嘢。咪 test 1、2、3、4。
喂，61啊！ 有。我推俾你啊！ 品牌啊。哦，佢可能掛大力嗰邊。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this historical moment here of the inaugural Hong Kong T20 Blitz. It's the opening match of the day here. 3 matches going on here today after the opening match of the tournament last night. We pick it up straight away with Tanvir Afzal coming to open the bowling for the Woodworm Warriors up against the GII Lantau Galaxy Riders. And a very special guest straight away in the commentary box here. with the owner of the Woodworm Warriors, who will be feeling a little nervous at the moment, Simon Millington. Simon, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you feeling ahead of your team's first game?
A little bit nervous, but they've prepared well. I think the squad looks strong, so yeah, I think we'll go well.
Single to start off. We had the opening match of the tournament yesterday evening between the Lantau Galaxy Riders and the Hung Hom JD Jaguars. It was an absolute thriller. 5 overs aside. 2 for 75 off the 5 overs. Seemed like it would be plenty for the Galaxy Riders, but the Jaguars matched it and it went to a super over. 20 runs off the last over.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate that the first T20 game ended up being a 6s in Hong Kong. I think
and there was a 6 hit off the first ball of the match.
There you go.
Bit of movement there. Back in from Tanveer Afzal. Start off. So how's it been in the build-up, Simon? How's it been owning a team in a competition such as this?
Yeah, it's been exciting. I mean, it's a bit of time pressure, as there is with these things, of getting everything prepared, all the kit, and getting all the players in place. The overseas players, the 2 guys as our overseas, and then also the associate. But we're very happy with the 3 we got in.
Tanveer Afzal, of course, the opening bowler for Hong Kong, captained the team to the World T20 in recent times. Opening the batting for the Lantau Galaxy Riders is Anas Khan. He's on strike at the moment. And one of their overseas Indian players, Harshit Verma, at the non-striker's end. It's Kiran Patel. Bit of movement from Tanveer Afzal. Generally brings the ball back into the right-hander, away from the left-hander. Ball's very straight. You've got a big team coming along to watch today, Simon?
Yeah, we've got I think there's about 30 of us in the VIP, and then there's several other people coming in the general admission. So I think it'll be exciting as the ground fills up during the day. The atmosphere is going to lift. It's certainly a great start from Tanveer here.
Yeah, well, if yesterday's match is anything to go by, this is a fantastic start. There weren't many dot balls in that 5 over a side game yesterday afternoon. That one nicked away as well. The end of the first over, just the 2 runs from it. It's a pretty handy start. Going to be Adil Mahmood to open up with Tanveer Afzal. No run. So what does Adil Mahmood do, Simon?
Well, he's just, he's as you can see, he's a very tall guy. He's 6'6", I'm guessing. Bowls good line and length, bit of bounce. I mean, there's not a massive amount of bounce here, but he certainly gets it in the right areas. And hopefully he can just move it around a little bit.
Swing and a miss. Galaxy Riders at this point yesterday were on about 30, so they've a little more tame this morning. Lost, I think it was 7 balls in the space of 12 overs yesterday. To order a few extra boxes. Catch, dropped, pretty hot chance. That's Mickey Swart there at first slip.
Yeah, it was a sharp one. He got a good hand to it, but just couldn't cling on to it.
The game today is absolutely sold out. Expect by 10, 11, 12 o'clock this ground will be full. It's a pretty early start, 8:30 in the morning here local time. Bowl's full. Hiran Patel can't beat the field. Very tidy start indeed here. So Simon, are you confident of your team winning, or how do you see the four sides lining up?
Yeah, there's some good sides and some very good players. Obviously the Cowlin Cantons will start favourite, you know, with Ryan Campbell and Michael Clark. I think they'll open the batting for them, so I think, you know, they're going to be the team to beat for sure. But you know, we're very confident. We've got a very nice balanced side. I think we've got some great spin options, which I think will be important as well. So you know, I'm as confident as we can be. But you know, when you've got people like Cambo and Michael Clark, to name but a few, you know, anything can happen. So.
The one thing about Hong Kong with these boundary sides is it can be a great leveler for any bowler here.
Correct, yeah, and that's why, I mean, to start off as well as we have here is very important. I think every over here is vital, so it's been a great start.
Tanvir Afzal noted for his long spells up front.
Yeah.
Likes to just get through his four and get out before the final overs, Tanvir Afzal.
It's a bowler's game.
He's just nipping the ball into the right-hander at the moment and just creating a bit of doubt in the batsman's mind.
Yeah, I think the conditions will suit him this morning. It's pretty muggy here, so.
Oh, geez, that's wild swipe there.
Yeah, it's very solid hoiks here.
Yeah. Just losing his shape there. It was Hiran Patel. Well, it's up in the air, should be taken. And Wacker Sparkett makes no mistake. So the first wicket falls, the pressure telling in the second over. Got to be happy with that, Simon.
Yeah, very, very happy. I mean, both bowlers there have bowled great lines, and no doubt there the pressure, you could see the pressure building from the shots they were playing, the batsmen there, and a well taken chance by Wacker Sparkett.
Yeah, excellent bowling from Tanvir Afzal. Hiran Patel just getting tied down at the start of the innings, and the first wicket has fallen. That's 1 for 3 in the third over. For those just joining, I do have the owner, of course, of the Woodworm Warriors here, Simon Millington, in the commentary box. Makes out a few fans getting in early, some of the Galaxy Riders fans. So if you're getting some biased commentary from Simon Millington and wondering why, that's because he is running the show with this Woodworm Warriors team. It's generally fairly biased anyway, from what I found.
Yeah, pretty much.
Watched a lot of cricket in Hong Kong, Simon. Generally speaking, this Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground is a high-scoring one.
Yeah, I think it's always a good batting track here. So you know, you do see and relatively small boundaries. Although for Hong Kong, it's certainly the bigger of the three main grounds. But you do see plenty of runs, particularly straight. And yeah, so it's generally a pretty good batting track. So I think over the weekend, we're going to see a lot of runs here. So.
Oh, there we go.
What a worldies.
The cameraman realising after a few seconds the director didn't like the look of that. Changed shot back to the cricket.
Yeah, correct. Definitely got the face for radio.
And by my count, there's one ball left in this over. And would make it a wicket maiden potentially, but you don't get that often in the first 6. Oh, it got up. So at the end of 3 overs, the Lantau Galaxy Riders are just 1 for 3 as the beer keg goes past towards the VIP tent. Simon will be a regular visitor of the Carlsberg draft area, I'd say.
Afternoon.
That's why I got you on commentary in the morning.
Yeah, very wise.
So Adil Mahmood continuing here. It's actually starting to get to a stage for the Galaxy Riders where they really need a boundary here, because this first 6 overs is where you can cash in. It's Wakas Khan, who's gone in at number 3, was in the squad for Hong Kong in the World T20. But I suppose you can catch up later on, even if the fielders are on the boundary here at Mission Road. It doesn't necessarily stop the sixes.
Yeah, there's certainly anything's possible, but that's a great start. And just a single there, but it's certainly a great start for us there. At this point of the game, we consider ourselves well ahead and be very happy with the bowling we've got to come.
Up in the air, but it's over the top. Still a bit greasy, the outfield, so not as quick as it will be this afternoon. Batsman get a couple of runs. There was Anas Khan slicing one over the top. That's a good shot. Great fielding there. Was that Rag?
Yeah, that's young Rag Kapoor.
What about young Rag? He was cleaned up at the awards night, I believe.
He did up at Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Junior Player of the Year and Senior Player of the Year. The first time it's been done in their history.
Correct, and I think Sunday Bowler of the Year as well. So he certainly had filled the family trophy cabinet.
So tell us a bit about, after this delivery from Dilbert Moon, tell us a little bit about what to expect from him, because he's obviously an exciting prospect.
He is an exciting prospect. I've seen more of him batting. He's a very correct, nice batsman. You know, he's still only young. I think he's 17, just 17 now. plays quality shots. So you're not going to see him as necessarily as the big hitting batsman coming in, but you'll see a lot of quality from him. A lot of, I guess you describe him as a proper cricketer.
So will be Tanvir Afzal once again for his third over here, as predicted. A very good start here from the Island Warriors. 1 for 6 off just 4 overs on a ground where 75 runs were scored in 5 overs by each team yesterday. So this certainly is a far reduced run rate. The par score between today's and yesterday's game is seismic for 5 overs. Half volley and smash through. So good shot from Wakas Khan. Much needed boundary for the Lantau Galaxy Riders. The score now 1 for 10 in the 5th over. 10 for 1, as they say here in Hong Kong. My Australian background coming through.
Yeah, it's 10 for 1.
One nipped in from Tanvir. Delivery there from Tanvir. So what sort of score would you be happy to chase here, Simon?
Well, you're going to have to think that par is going to be 150, I think, in most games. So I think, that's what this size of ground, the type of wicket and the players around, I think so. We'd obviously be very happy at this. It doesn't look like they're going to get there, but of course anything can happen. But I think we'll be pretty confident with our batting lineup in chasing anything 150 and north of that. But hopefully here we're chasing, around about 100, I would say.
It is tricky, Hong Kong, because you're never safe with any score, really, with the way that the boundaries are laid out.
Yeah, that's correct. And, they do have some big hitters still to come, I know. So certainly anything's possible here if they get going. But like I say, I'm still confident that with the bowlers we've got to come in, and it'll be interesting. Obviously we're seeing some swing and seam movement is the effect that the spinners are going to have.
Yeah, well, no one was 1 over of spin was bowled yesterday and went for 25. So shows that it is a tricky ground to bowl spin on, but that's the end of the over, and I think it's time for a change of commentary. 1 for 11 after 5 overs. Step in will be Jack Richards and Charlie Burke.
Thank you, Max. Excellent. 11 for 1, I believe. It's a bit confusing, Charlie. 9,000 miles between us, we still can't get it right. 1 for 11 or 11 for 1. Good morning to you. How are you doing?
Very well. I always go by the bowling figures. You don't say a bowler has 11 for 1, or he took 11 for 1. So he took 1 for 11.
Never been there. Sorry about that. It's a bit alien to me. So here we have a change of attack, and we will see how well this spinner does.
Yeah, Nadeem Ahmed, left arm spinner.
Looks familiar to me.
Yeah, he's played a lot for Hong Kong. He's played over 20 T20Is and a number of ODIs. Actually debuted for Hong Kong in ODI cricket in 2008 in the Asia Cup and took 4 for against Pakistan.
Well, flight and goal, drifting it nicely. It'll be interesting to see whether in these sort of conditions, whether there will be any turn. Is this wicket, does it take turn at times?
Yeah, probably won't so much today. It's very hard today, and we've kept the grass on up until literally 2 days ago, which It's not sort of the normal preparation we'd do here, but just because of the volume of games over the next 2 days, all the remaining matches in this tournament are all going to be played on this wicket, so it'll be interesting to see how it holds up tomorrow afternoon.
Again, floated into the pads. Batsmen, I think, just taking their time to weigh up this wicket in this attack. They're way behind on the run rate for what is normally par. So we'll see what happens now.
Fantastic start to the tournament yesterday, going down to a super over. People waited around for a few hours while we got the ground right. The groundsman did a terrific job, and I think everyone enjoyed thoroughly what happened in the end. It went down the super over, first game of the tournament.
That's been hit down to, for one, down to long on. Sort of hitting across the ball a little bit. Ball slanted into the pads. So indeed, these batsmen taking it careful, and it's great to see that indeed, as they said earlier, that the Hong Kong six is not too far away, even in a 2020 competition. So of course, Hong Kong being famous for the sixes competition, which I was also involved in the latter parts. It's always had a lot of famous cricketers coming through in their grounding stages. And that was a brilliant catch. Nadeem really shown his experience and worth. So this is a bit of pressure. 12 for 2.
Yeah, they bowled very well here. Great catch there by Michael Swart, the Dutch player, and played a bit of first-class cricket for Western Australia. So good to have the big fella over here playing in this tournament.
Yeah, and I think you also saw the value of Nadeem being able to sum up the batsman and tightening him up, bowling into his pads, and of course the pressure of the run of the board shows, and but indiscriminate shot to make, certainly so early in the innings, which put even more pressure on the batsman coming down. So I believe in this respect the bowler is firmly in charge at the moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely, using his experience there. Anas Khan, his wicket there, is also a left-arm spinner himself, so he's got the upper hand at the moment, the battle of the two left-arm spinners.
So Charlie, who do we have here? Another spinner,
Yeah,
looks like.
Right-arm off spinner, Ehsan Khan, who's just been added to the national squad this year, so he's been, the last month or so, has been in the national squad and been part of the high performance program here. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. He's obviously, the selectors have noticed him and the coaching staff. So he's been training extremely hard over the last month or so, and he's got a lot of talent. Actually, a very big turner of the ball. So if anyone's going to turn the ball, it's going to be Ehsan.
So of course, with your role in Hong Kong, it will be added interest to see how he bowls. So that's driven long to long off, well fielded.
Almost took out the umpire there, Zabir. Quick on his feet. I know Zabir was extremely excited about umpiring today. He couldn't wait to get out there, but almost got cleaned up on Nadeem's incoming throw.
And I notice nowadays these umpires never know really where to stand and tend to need protection all over. Recently they were in helmets and everything, I think arm guards and whatever. So be interesting to see how they can keep out of the way of this flying ball.
Been really fortunate actually. We've got Paul Bollocker-Wilson over here at the moment umpiring.
So let's just turn to the square leg, well fielded. That'll be one. So the run rate is picking up a little bit. 2 off 2 balls.
Yeah, again there, it's very slow. It's certainly different to yesterday, although they still have a Wace to come. A Wace is an extremely good young batsman, and geez, some beautiful ball striking yesterday from him. 41 not out off about 18 balls yesterday.
It's slightly different here now, where I think the batsmen have seen that we have to build, so they're really pushing the ball around. That was a very sharp single to the offside for wide ball. Not so much turning that we could see, but at least the batsmen now are knowing the importance of working the ball through the gaps. That's a great sweep, which has gone down for 4 runs. a much needed boundary, which now brings the score rolling along to, must be more than 14, I think it should be 17, 16 for 2.
Interesting battle this one. 2 club mates.
Yet another single. One more ball to come, and I think the batsmen are lining up this bowler nicely. He's bowling outside off stump with a predominantly leg side field, so this will be interesting to see where this ball will go.
Bowled him.
And it's bowled him with a little bit of turn through the gate. So that was an interesting over. Runs and wickets. And here we have the Lantau Galaxy Riders, 19 for 2, 7 overs.
Just recap the score sheet for everyone as well. Hiram Patel was the first wicket, called Wakas Barkat, bowled Tanveer Afzal. The fall of wicket being 1 for 3. Anas Khan was caught smartly by Mickey Swart at mid-wicket off the bowling of Nadeem Ahmed for 3. And obviously the wicket that's just fallen then is Wakas Barkat, Wakas Khan, who's another Hong Kong national squad player, and he's gone for 8, bowled by Ehsan Khan. And the new batsman that's just come out is Awais Muhammad, who struck a lovely 41 not out yesterday for about 18 or 19 balls. So he's certainly one that needs to get the run rate going.
Indeed. So 20 for 3 off 8 overs. The new batsman at the crease. A lot of work to be done. And a little bit of pace coming on to Sheridan. I think coming on to take over the attack. Bit of Australian, Charlie, bit of Australian. I think he's not new to Hong Kong. We've seen him here before.
Yeah, no, he played in the Sixers a few years back, actually, when Australia won.
Obviously a bit of jet lag there just to get the loosener out the way.
He's been here for about a week, but I think the Woodworm Warriors have had a few sponsorship commitments over the last few days. And
quite rightly as well. It's very good that these sponsorships come in, to have these cricketers coming into Hong Kong. It's very beneficial to Hong Kong cricket to have such good players coming through. Sheridan looking to back of a length, and the batsman just working at the square leg for another single.
He's a very clever bowler, Will Sheridan, former Australian under-19, played for ACT, played a bit of first-class cricket for Victoria, and recently for the Melbourne Renegades in the Big Bash in Australia. He's got a lot of variation. He's got out the back of the hand slower ball. He bowls a lot of cross seam, which I think you can see now in his grip. A lot of cross seam deliveries, and will hit a hard length as well.
Well, he's taking that leg stump line at the moment, and it's an interesting field. At the moment, again, he has the man out at square leg and at long on. The rest and at third man, and the rest are in on saving the singles. But back of the length and on the leg stump could open the onside field a little bit. Again, another crossball delivery. How's the pace looking in this wicket? Obviously, the back of a length makes the ball getting into the wicket a little bit, making it a bit slower than maybe we can expect normally.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I'm actually a bit surprised. I didn't think maybe a little bit sticky after having the covers on for a fair bit of yesterday, and obviously the preparation went into the other wicket yesterday. We played on the further wicket in yesterday's match.
And there you see one of the variations. I cannot quite see if that was out of the back, but certainly a slower ball. Nicely worked down to third man by Awais.
There's a leg cutter there, showing his bag of tricks there, Will Sheridan. Very handy pickup actually for the Woodworm Warriors, who have gone predominantly Australians with their overseas. So you've got Will Sheridan and Michael Hill.
And Indeed, the onside field is opening up for the batsman. If you look at this, in again at leg stump, and the batsman just picking the ball over for first six of the innings, which is most welcome for the Lantau Galaxy Riders.
Well, these are the two people that are going to do it, Jack. These are their absolute two middle order destroyers, these two. So if they can get it going along, it's these two that can do it.
Slower delivery, just within the margins of a wide. The umpire giving the bowler the benefit of the doubt there. So an interesting over from our Australian left-arm receiver.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's obviously end of the season is about a month ago for the cricketers in Australia. So probably haven't spent too much time out in the nets and that. Probably had their end of season stuff, but the Lantau Galaxy Riders go on to 3 for 31 or 31 for 3 for our English viewers.
Totally confusing this, Charlie. I have to get my way around. Maybe we can find out an Asian way of saying this.
I think it's only Australia that say 3 for 31, and the Kiwis. I think they help us out. But we've got 10 overs left here, Jack. Nadeem to continue. What are we looking at? What sort of score are we looking at?
Well, I must admit they still must look at trying to get another 80 on top of this. I think they must be looking for 110, 120, I would have thought. And my only concern is that they don't seem to have got used to the pace of the wicket yet. That was a swing, an early swing.
It's a classic example, isn't it? I mean, slow wickets, it's very hard to hit across the line. And the straight boundaries are the shorter boundaries here at Mission Road in Hong Kong. So you'd be looking at a hit straight here.
I think there was a half-hearted appeal, missing leg stump, I would say. But indeed, I think it's a plan. I cannot quite see what their plan is. Are they looking just to pick up the singles and the twos, or just waiting for the ball to hit? And they were waiting for the ball to hit. And that's just not. That was hit not quite hard enough, and nicely caught on the boundary. Not quite able to pick up who it was who picked it up, but it just goes to show the pace of the wicket. It's not an easy batting wicket, and I think in that respect you saw there how the batsman was not able to really hit through the line hard enough for this pace of wicket. And you have to begin to think about their batting plan on this wicket. I believe that you don't just win these games with 4s and 6s.
Absolutely, Nets. I mean, this sort of tournament is absolutely cutthroat. I mean, you have play each other once and then a final. So the Lantau Riders, Galaxy Riders, this is a must-win match for them to keep them in the tournament. This is the Woodworm Warriors' first game, so they don't want to be 0-2 whatsoever. And good catch there from Michael Hill at long on, the current Hobart Hurricanes top order batsman.
Yeah, and I think you'll also see how what some of the better experienced players might make of such conditions. And of course, nowadays we've seen so many, I suppose, what I can say, catches like that are just par for the course. Recently I saw in the World Cup some tremendous boundary catches. But indeed, you know, it's vital now that the G2 Lantau Galaxy Riders get a hold of this game and start really making a target. They must make at least 6 runs and over. This is vital for them now. Otherwise, there's just going to be a walkthrough for Woodworm Island Warriors to knock off. So let's see now how Nadeem can abate this. Just knocked off to the offside sweeper. The ball sitting in the wicket. That just held its own a little bit. But then again, we're seeing very little footwork. We're seeing basically batsmen just at the crease expecting the ball to come on. I think they need to work a little bit harder.
Absolutely. I think still got to pick up those ones, but I think Munir Dar here is I think you'll see a bit of sweeping going on here. Loves a sweep shot. Oh, it's a smart bit of keeping there from Jamie Atkinson, the Hong Kong keeper.
And you saw again the ball just hold its own. Been quite impressive I think for Hong Kong, this wicketkeeper, hasn't he? Must have had good coaching in his formative years.
Yes, I think you have spent a bit of time with him, Jack. on your visits to Hong Kong, but yeah, absolutely very smart keeper.
Low full toss. Just worked into the onside. They're looking for 2. It's a good bit of fielding. No, that's the way to go. So that's some good cricket being played there. But the confidence not there. Low full toss, just worked into mid-wicket for 2 runs. And again, another tidy over from Nadim, showing his experience. Which knows bringing the score up to 32 for 4. Maybe 33 for 4, I think, if my calculation's right.
Scores a little bit slow updating. It's with tidy bowling from Nadim. He's bowled exceptionally well there. So Will Sheridan will continue.
It's always interesting, Charlie, how these players get on. You know, a lot of shown a lot of style and skill at the under 19 level, and how they take their career forward. You know, like Will Sheridan is a classic example, sort of playing for Australia under 19 and still looking to make his way as a full-time cricketer. It's not easy.
No, absolutely not, and particularly when you got 3 different formats, and you know, it does open the door for maybe other people for one particular format. But you know, he's been a very handy bowler at first-class cricket as well.
So now he's trying himself around the wicket. That is short and down the leg side, given a wide. Stafford uphill, trying, I think, to con the umpire to think he hit it. But Charlie, was that a long up or a slow bouncer? I can't work it out nowadays. In my day, that was a long up. But now they call it a slow bouncer.
He's coming around the wicket now as well, Will Sheridan, to the right-hander. Just trying to tighten him up around his ribs.
Well, he was on the leg stump coming over the wicket, so obviously he's not happy with that line. So this will now indeed tighten him up, should he get the ball straighter. He's got predominantly leg side field, 2 on the boundary on the leg side, 1 at backward square leg, fine leg, and a long on, with only 1 person in the circle. So one would presume that he's going to bowl it somewhat shorter, although the offside field will make him feel that he might be pitching the ball up. Interesting. It's a bit of a leg side for the bowling for the bad ball. I think he's got a field for the bad ball.
Just a reminder to everyone watching, make sure you use social media hashtags, HKT20 Blitz. And certainly interested in where people are watching this from and any questions people may have along the way.
Sheridan again tightening the batsman up, tying the batsman up on the leg side. Another single down to this fine leg boundary. One would thought the batsman must be keen to this. They must be shaping to play some bigger shots with this shorter pitch ball. There you go, there again. And
he's going to join us, Jack.
Another maximum. Maybe he was reading my mind, but I think it was the cards were on the wall with the way he was bowling, where he's putting it. Very little variation. I would have to call that a gentle long up. Nicely dispatched for 6 over square leg. Much required boundary for the Lantau Galaxy Riders. Good shot.
He's also going a little bit deeper in his crease now, Muhammad Khan, the keeper for the Lantau Galaxy Riders.
Another wide, Sheridan up in the pace a little bit. That's decidedly quicker than before. He's not quite comfortable in where he's controlling the ball at the moment. So this is a good opportunity for Khan to maybe get the scoreboard ticking over a little bit more. One would thought this might be full on the offside.
Geez, Jack, look at that. Played a bit of cricket, have you?
Oh my word, frightening, jet lag and everything. But I'm saying this is the idea of batting now. You have to pre-think what the bowler's looking to do, and he's done nothing but short. So to be honest about it, now the batsman must be setting himself to open himself through the offside field, knowing that there's every chance of being more full. It gave me a chance, really.
Slower ball this one, I reckon. Oh no, slower ball bouncer.
Now that was an interesting, that looked, yes, it's not the tallest batsman in the world.
No, I reckon they've got away with that one there. Will Sheridan and the Woodworm Warriors.
Indeed. Obviously choosing to put the ball into the wicket, but you saw how slow it came out. What's going to happen here, Charlie? That's more like back of the length. That's where he has to be, back of length on these bowlers. So another very good over for the Lantau Galaxy Riders. Sheridan a little bit wayward, a couple extras, ball hit for 6. All in all, I would say a good over and a real required over for Lantau, that beautiful island of Lantau.
Yes, it is a beautiful island out there, out near the airport. But the Lantau Galaxy Riders are 4 for 44 after 10 overs. And Munir Dar, the captain and former Hong Kong national player, was involved in that historic win against Bangladesh in Chittagong in 2014. And he's joined obviously at the other end, Muhammad Khan, who's on 8 off 6 deliveries. Both have cleared the rope.
Indeed, another maximum there. The spinner bowling nicely in the arc, and I think Lantau have now maybe got their eye in a little bit.
What I'm enjoying about this battle here, Jack, is this is 2 clubmates, Little Sawan Cricket Club, one of the leading clubs here in Hong Kong, and it's the coach bowling to the captain.
Very interesting. And it looks, oh, this is gone again. It's going again. The fielder's under it. No. It's out all the legs. The second maximum they ever. A great shot. And it looks as though the captain is getting the better of the coach at the moment.
Yeah, it could be an interesting next training session. Little Sawan Cricket Club.
I'm sure there'll be a lot going on between those two later on. Two maximums, 12 of the first 2 balls. Can the coach drag it back? What is the captain looking to do from the Little Sawan Cricket Club?
I think he's got to slow this next one up, doesn't he?
I would have thought so.
Ooh.
And it all falls back to a bit of normality. Normal delivery, push forward. Mr. Atkinson at this time taking his eye off the ball and just goes through for a simple bye.
How many byes did you have in your career, Jack?
I said a goodbye. Plenty of goodbyes. And it's gone to the offside. It's gone to the top of point. The fielders are coming around. Will they stop it? Yes, a good bit of fielding together there. And the runway creeping up nicely. This is already now 15 off the over, 4 balls gone.
Just need a target, don't they? I mean, it's an old cliche, but you've got to give something for the bowlers to defend.
Quicker delivery, fired in at the pads. The batsman a little bit late on it. I think the batsman has really got one shot of note. So I think the bowler will be looking now to get in on his pads as full as possible. Push to the offside.
Clever cricket there, Jack. I think what Mo Khan needs to be looking to do is probably get Munir Dar on strike as much as he can. He's cleared the rope a few times and is quite a crafty batsman. He's got a lot of different shots. He's got the lap and the scoop and the reverse sweep and all sorts. So probably something they'll be looking to do now. We've got a change of bowler here. Adil Mahmood replaces Will Sheridan.
Well, indeed, I must say what's quite vital. You actually saw it in the World Cup final. How you need to have your on-song batsman taking as much strike as possible, working the strike around, and nothing more than if you find somebody who's one ball will give somebody who's got the pace of the wicket and got the eye of the ball in and the bowlers the chance to score more runs. So this is vital in the partnership, playing together. It is a team game. So what we call nowadays the straight pull off the front foot. Looking for 2. A bit of sloppy work there from the Woodworm Island Warriors.
Yeah, I don't know what what Jamie did to them last night, but the throws to the keeper's end today hasn't been red hot.
No, it has not been sharp, and I think it's important then the keeper picks them up and get the fielder sharp. I think there's no doubt where that's gone. I think we've seen anything short has gone way over the boundary. Again, short of length, it's not quite quick enough, and the batsman picked it up, and it's gone even out to the ground. Oh, they managed to find it back again. Another great shot, and the runaway's ticking on nicely now.
Yeah, the ball boys that we've organised through Hong Kong Cricket Club. Thank you to them. We've got young ball boys down here helping us out get those balls back. There's been some beautiful striking in yesterday's game and later stages of this innings. That's just smart cricket, Jack.
I just think that basically suddenly people can think about, well, maybe these batsmen like the ball halfway down the wicket, and I've not seen a cover drive or anything straight going on. So maybe if I was the coach of the Warriors, I would say, let's get it up straight and bowl straight, and not have the ball going halfway down. There's no pace in this wicket, and anything that has been short is a chance of going for a boundary. And he's worked it away. And again, you see, out is a length, but a kind of wayward length. The batsman on the back foot, as Charlie early said, they're looking for the short ball, and it's gone away through a long leg for 4. The bowlers really now are now really have to earn their bread. This way, we're talking about the Lantau Galaxy Riders will have to up the over rate, but in fact, there's also for the Woodworm Warriors now to really turn the screws on this batting lineup and get it full, and just must be only aiming for one a ball.
They've just it just shows, doesn't it? It changes very quickly in 2020. You start putting the batsmen starting to put the bowling side under a bit of pressure.
Worked away on the offside. They're looking for 2. It will only be 1. Good bit of fielding there to stop the 2. And also, I think a bit of thinking cricket, just to work the ball on the offside backward of square to a good length ball. So indeed, it's now a very interesting time. Where is he going to do this? I think this will be full. And you see full, and of course we know 2 out of 2, Charlie. There you go. How about that?
I'll just go through the score sheet of the Galaxy Lantau Riders, or the Lantau Galaxy Riders, I should say. Apologies. First wicket to go was Hiran Patel. He was caught by Barkat off the bowling of Tanvir for 1. The next wicket to go was Anas Khan, caught at mid-wicket by Swart off the bowling of Nadeem. Then we had Wakas Khan, who just took a while to get going. He hit a lovely boundary, but took a while to get going. And he was bowled for 8 off Ehsan Khan when he came down the wicket and tried to hit him back over his head. And Muhammad Awais was caught at long on by Michael Hill off the bowling of Nadeem Ahmed. So they're not our batsmen at the moment. We've got Muhammad Khan on strike. He's 12 off 10 deliveries. And Munir Dar 36 off 15 and starting to look very dangerous. Nadeem Ahmed to bowl from this end.
Nice turn. That'll get the batsman thinking a little bit, I think. This could be quite a key over.
Absolutely, and I think just showing then the pace of the ball is crucial for the ball to turn.
So the ball, the more grip it will get into the wicket, and indeed, the harder it is to force off. It's easy to see there how slow it is out of the wicket. Very difficult to force away. Nadeem will be looking to float it a little bit more. As you see, a floated ball looked to be worked on the onside. Maybe didn't quite do enough.
No, and he's a bit clever bowling there from Nadeem. His front foot was literally in line with the stumps then, so mixing up where he releases the ball as well. Got him bowled.
Good delivery by Nadeem. He's held those 4 deliveries back a little bit slower, taking the pace off the ball. And Mr. Khan, after quite a good innings and managing to up the run rate for the Lantau Galaxy Riders, plays across the line and is bowled. Key wicket.
Absolutely. And thoughts on the team names, Jack? I know you've only just flown in. You've literally just landed and hopped off the flight. So thoughts on the team names?
Yes, a lot of thoughts on that, and I see Mr. Hill running, which fortunately is an easier one for me, but I've got so many pieces of paper in front of me with so many different names. It's like a forest of names here. But
I meant more the team names.
Team names, so I do apologise. Well, what can I say? Lantau Galaxy Riders and the Woodworm Island Warriors is quite a mouthful for 2020 cricket. Can we not make it a little bit easier?
Yes, I think we do, and we've got the don't mind the Kowloon Cantons. I think that's pretty rolls off the tongue and it's pretty easy. And then we've got the JD Hung Hom Jaguars.
Yes, I know. That's a Hung Hom. That's a region of Kowloon, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see it from here. Not far away whatsoever from here. So the new batsman to join the crease is Amandeep Singh, former Hong Kong under-19s player, a good all-rounder.
Now you can see he has a bit of experience. Basically just putting the strike to the batsman in form.
He's
Excuse guys.
He has. He's. I mean, it's always hard with guys in the national setup as well because he's one of those guys that's had to have a full-time job and try and balance cricket. But he's also another player at the Little Sarwan Cricket Club.
Well, that was a fantastic over, if I may say. I think your international spinner showed his experience and worth then. Basically, a wicket for 2 runs. That is just the over that the Woodworm Island Warriors wanted. Another fantastic name. Is it Woodworm Island or is it Island Warriors?
It's Woodworm, as in the cricket brand.
Oh,
Island Warriors. So the
good.
owners of the team is the cricket brand Woodworm, also a golf brand as well.
And we have to thank the sponsors for getting this inaugural Blitz, Hong Kong Blitz T20 off the ground. It's fantastic that these people are able to help us in this way.
Absolutely. And Jack, I'm not sure if you're aware actually, the only problem with being in the media area or the players area is you don't come through the general admission where people get a free mobile phone from DTC, our wonderful naming rights sponsors of this tournament.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you have to be. With a free mobile phone. The short ball yet again. And worked away nicely for 4 between the 2 fielders out on the boundary. And I must admit, maybe he's not quite used to these soft, slow pitches, our left arm Australian.
I think he's just got the wrong plan. I mean, if you're coming around the wicket, to a right-hander and you're bowling that length on this sort of pace wicket, it makes it giving a lot of advantage to the batsman.
More of length, the batsman work the way, looking for 2. It's going well footed mid wicket for Nadeem. The batsman go through for an easy 2.
I think sorry, Jack. I think that just showed though. If you get the length right, it is probably a little bit too paced the wicket. I think that's the right length to be bowling. I don't think it's coming onto the batters as quickly as we'd probably hoped for. Certainly later on in the day, I think it will come on a little bit quicker.
But would the bowler be having in his mind what the batsman is, what the batsman can do, or is he just looking at the conditions?
He probably hasn't summed the conditions up as well as you were saying, probably as well as he would have liked, and probably the wrong plan as well. But if he can hit that length again, it's quite hard for Munir Dar to score off.
Well, we have preconceived plans, of course, but a plan is only worth what it's worth in one ball, basically. So plans can change.
Absolutely, you're better off to have a plan than no plan at all.
Exactly.
Munir is the dangerous one here. He's 41 not out off 18 deliveries, and he's sailed 4 of them into the tents here at Mission Road.
That was certainly quicker back of a length, and it surely showed it now. I believe he's now shown his bit of his worth now by upping the pace a little bit, knowing where to bowl the ball. And I suppose thinking on his feet, which is quite important, which is an art we had in my day, which maybe he's gone out the board because of certain plans. But I think here, of course, he would not have seen this batsman too often, I don't think.
No, and I do love the back in my day chat. I always enjoy that, especially with Mr. Richards.
Oh, and he's,
Great snare.
that's a great stop.
Terrific catch. They were confident, Jack.
So he's widened the ball for a big appeal with the keeper to dive. Now, interesting. There was certainly a noise when the ball went past the batsman. We couldn't quite see from here as we're square of the wicket what it actually hit, but for either the keeper was very slow in his movement or in that respect. But it's interesting. There was certainly a noise, and then the ball has been given a wide. The bowler not particularly happy, but then again, that's what it is.
Might have to have another quick look at that at the end of the over. The Jamie Atkinson, the skipper, was pretty confident about that one.
Well, it's not very clear from here, but I must admit it was a very good take from the wicketkeeper. Let's put it this way.
The old wicketkeepers club is alive and well.
Shocking delivery wide down the leg side. Keeper having to dive. Miles does have to take the ball. Great take. It's a slower ball, but again loosened his direction down the leg side, and another extra.
Batsman's trying to change his gloves here at the moment, saying that it's a bit sweaty and he can't hold the bat.
Well, it certainly is very warm and humid with this overcast. I think humidity must be very, very high indeed. Well bowled, took the pace up full ball. Change of the shot there, just angled it in back of a backward point for a single. Indeed, it's very humid here, 90% humidity. 30 degrees early in this morning, so we can expect the batsmen who are lasting a few overs in the middle will need to have fresh equipment. It's surprising how that does affect the grip of the bat, even in my day. It's a slower ball, worked on the onside, they're pushing for two. The waiting, now it's a bit of a slow getaway from the batsman. He was on the back foot, well fielded. You show the difference there between your Hong Kong players who are a little bit quicker to the ball, able to anticipate where the ball's going. Well, another interesting over. Good over, if I say, for the Galaxy.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to be joined back in the commentary box by Max Abbott.
Thank you, Charlie. And also, I think it's going to be a double change as well. Got the CEO of Hong Kong Cricket doubling up as a player for today as well with the Kowloon Cantons, Tim Cutler. Welcome, Tim.
Thanks for having me, Max. How are you going, Max? Running around everywhere?
Yeah, it's. I heard Jack saying that it was humid, and he's not wrong. It is got to be up there with 95%, and I feel like I've walked out of the shower and put my clothes on right now, sitting here, and that's with just the slightest bit of air conditioning that is on top of us. And you're a sweatsman too, Tim, so this could be a real issue for you throughout the day.
I'm just lucky I can get away with being a player. I think you were close to the money there. I've just checked the numbers, and it's the Devils' number, 87% humidity. But considering the weather forecast that was expected, I think to see a muggy day with some sunny spells, I think is it's still great to see.
Well, it's been a real recovery since I was last in the commentary box. Where at that stage, the Lantau Galaxy Riders were on 6 runs after 4 overs for the loss of 1 wicket. They've managed to lift the run rate a little bit since then. And,
I think Munir Dar here is just showing his class as well. I'm not sure if it's been mentioned yet, but his stunning batting performance in the 2014 World T20 that got Hong Kong over the line to beat hosts and quite a full house there in Chittagong is just showing his class here. Also has played in the Bangladesh Premier League in the past too. So you can see why he was the first pick for the Galaxy Riders in that Premier League draft.
Big appeal. I think that one's sliding down the leg side. Yes, Ehsan Khan here. Can you tell us a little bit about Ehsan, Tim?
Ehsan plays for Little Saiwan. I think he's been in Hong Kong 5 or 6 years now and qualified and is now in the national squad.
Well, hang on, Tim. Oh, that's out. The
No,
umpire's on it.
no.
I reckon that was out. We're side on here.
We are side on, and I'm glad that you're not an umpire. That slide just got him home.
Well, what a throw. That was Will Sheridan, or the rocket throw. Took the bails off. And for mine, Amandeep Singh was lucky to survive.
We'll just agree to disagree there, Max.
Yep.
Ehsan, very attacking off-spin bowler. As you can see, he's got that overspinning action, can bowl a really good top spinner and really just take bags fulls of wickets every year. I think the Premier League and also the Sunday League, his Little Saiwan's leading wicket taker there. Really hard player to play. It's really hard to get to because of that overspin. Does tend to bowl quite quickly, I think, when things get a bit tough. So that may mean on this wicket that he might be able to use that pace and hit straight. But he's also a very good batsman as well. Probably a little bit more suited to the long forms of the game, but he can still sweep and sweep hard.
And there's a wicket. The attacking off-spinner of Ehsan Khan picks up the breakthrough. And that's the big one too, Manir Dar.
Perfect delivery there. Quick Yorker getting through the defences, and I think when you're waiting for that floating ball to sweep at, it's just the perfect ball. I'm not sure if it was an arm ball or not. We'll just try and watch it here, but that's the danger man there. So these late stages of a T20 match, it's the wickets that stop the runs. So that's great bowling there by the Warriors.
So the score now is 6 for 89. Once the score ticks over at the bottom there, it will be 6 for 89. And certainly very much the Island Warriors in control here. We saw yesterday that big scores are very possible. And I think this looks well under par looking at what happened yesterday. So we're going to need a big kick up at the end here. Niaz Ali has come out to the wicket to join Amandeep Singh. Lantau Galaxy Riders, this is pretty much a must-win game for them after losing in the Super over last night.
And what a start to the tournament, Max. Could you have planned it any better?
Well, we could have actually, Tim, because it was very dark actually at 6 o'clock yesterday. I don't know if the umpires were that happy that we're going to have to play another 2 overs. We were delayed by heavy storms yesterday. They delayed the start. It was 5 overs aside, and already we were pushing the light to the boundary, and then suddenly we had to play another 2 overs with change of innings. It was pretty dark by the end of it. But it was a very thrilling match to start the tournament.
Do you think Nazakit was doing that just to make it a little bit more exciting? Because the decision not to run, I've watched that video, the decision not to run on the last ball.
It was an unusual decision. He said after the match that he thought it was a wide, which still, to me, doesn't excuse the fact that he didn't run.
No, that's the always play to the referee's whistle, if we can use a football term.
Yeah, he missed it, and it was an incredible effort from Nazakit. Just before that, he hit a couple of sixes so that 20 runs could be scored in the last over to get them to a tied situation. So it's 6 for 91. Remember, it's an 18 overs a side match, this one, after we lost some time at the start of the match. Just 18 overs, so 91 for 6. So just 3 overs to go here. And
yeah, I have to say that looking at how conditions are drying out here in the wicket itself as well, might have been a little bit tacky to start with, and you could see that swing early on from Hong Kong skipper Tanvir Avsal. I think that it was perfect decision it may turn out to be to win the toss and field.
Yeah, and I think also they'll be thankful they got the fielding done in the morning. The early start here at 8:15. Certainly with the sun coming out now, getting very toasty indeed out in the middle. Oh, that's up in the air. Should be taken in the deep.
Courtney Kruger out there in deep cover. Very, very good fielder. 2 one-day internationals for Hong Kong in the Asia Cup 2008. Came in nicely there to take that. $18 balls to go. 4 wickets in hand. I guess one would have to go for it there, but just didn't quite get it there, trying to hit over cover and just flayed it to Courtney Kruger, who came into a good catch there.
So from a CEO point of view, Tim, after this, you can ponder this for a moment as Tanvir Afzal prepares to come into bowl. How's the Blitz shaping to you from a CEO perspective? Well, that's up in the air. Hold that thought.
I'm holding.
And
just plugs there.
Looks like it's just plugged in the outfield. They'll pick up 2. So yeah, Tim, what's your general summation?
I'll try and keep it short. I could not be happier, Max. I think the immense amount of credit must go to yourself. You've been running around, not sleeping much for the last few days, but to have sold out all tickets with 2 days remaining, and for us to get this together with the weather that was approaching, and really only 8 weeks that we've had since we announced the tournament. I always thought we could do it, but to get to this point with the calibre of players we've got, calibre of commentators, we have Paul Wilson up here umpiring, one-day international, Sheffield Shield final umpire. Over the moon really is the way that I surmise my feelings. I just hope that the weather plays its part here and the world and Hong Kong gets to watch the best we have to offer.
Good summation. Tanvir Afzal bowled really well up front, has kept 1 spare, has not always been the case for Tanvir. And his 4th over, very impressive figures. I think he's 2 for 8 and he's in his 4th over. So very impressive figures indeed, and we won't see many economy rates around the 2 or 3 mark, I'd have thought, today. So Tanvir's did an exceptional job just nipping the ball into the right-handers in his first spell.
Yeah, that's something I was really impressed with, the way he was swinging the ball in.
Wait, bowled him. Can't talk over those deliveries, Tim. Tanvir Afzal strikes, and there's just 2 wickets up their sleeve now for the final 2 overs, and they may not bat out their full 18 here. For those just joining in, it is an 18 over a side match after some side screen issues, shall we say, at the start of the match. But his figures are even better now. Tanvir Afzal 3 for 8 in his last over. Could be a match-winning performance. And
and there is that first replay.
First replay in T20 Blitz history. Tanvir Afzal knocking the stumps out. And, he's coming in this live action now. Slight misfield. Pick up a single. 8 for 95. And that is the end of the 16th over, so just 2 remaining. And it's 94 for 8. Tanvir Afzal Tanvir Afzal, 4 overs, 2 for 8. Not bad going.
Amazing
2 for
figures
9.
then.
Still good going.
And a maiden. Yeah, how often do you see that in T20 cricket? Now people
A
talk
wicket
about
maiden it was too, Tim.
even better. People talk about centuries, and I guess we're seeing more and more of those. But for a bowler to bowl a maiden, I think that's almost as close as a century.
2020 cricket, yeah, it's probably about as rare.
Well, that'd be an interesting stat to look at, actually, the maidens versus centuries.
And Nadeem Ahmed here, Hong Kong's left arm spinner. We'd line that one up. Nadeem Ahmed. Pretty good here in the final overs. Still gives the ball a bit of flight, not afraid to give it some air. Mohsin Khan, batsman on strike. Still not afraid to give it the air. I'm sure you'd appreciate that, Tim, as a fellow left-arm spinner.
Definitely, and I think that's the thing about spin bowling in T20 cricket. You still got to make sure you spin the ball and give it flight. If you just throw it in there, and makes it very easy to hit, especially on wickets like this.
All cut off by Wacker Sparkett, one of the best fielders in Hong Kong.
I think that's something that Nadeem has done really well the last couple of years, being able to vary his pace but not be too fast through the air, because I think the good players will be able to use that pace and either be able to work you behind square on the offside or just use that pace and hit straight back over your head.
Well, it's up in the air. Will it have the legs to go all the way? Looks like it's gone one bounce 4. Umpire's asking.
Almost a collision down there. We're just a little bit obstructed from that.
And just waiting for the umpire's signal here. 4 runs. Yeah, I thought there was a 1 bounce. Lap sweep, but straight to Will Sheridan at short fine leg. Nadeem Ahmed picks up the wicket, and it seems the innings is perhaps irrecoverable from here for the GI Lantau Galaxy Riders.
Would be from a continuation point of view, but still runs on the board, as is repeated time after time, can create a lot of pressure. And if we can have a similar start, or at least a slowish start, and a bit of pressure on the Woodworm Island Warriors, then I don't think they're out of it yet.
And we got looks like it's Ming Lee that's walked out to the middle. Must be a good moment for him. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to seeing him bowl his leg spinners. He wasn't used yesterday, but I think that was largely due to the situation of the match more than anything. It wasn't wickets that you were looking for, it was simply defence. And he is a wicket-taking bowler, isn't he?
Definitely, but I think defending 20 off the last over, and he's an attacking leg spinner, I might have lent towards getting him on. I know there'd been 1 over of spin that went for 25 and for a wicket, but I really thought at that stage you can't give the batsman pace to hit the ball. You were here, I wasn't. What did you think?
I think bowling a leg spinner in the last over where there's 21 wouldn't have been the decision I made. I could understand where, put it this way, I could understand where Munir Dar was coming from, the captain of the Galaxy Riders. Slower ball from Will Sheridan. He's got a very good slower ball out the back of the hand. And Tim's going to take his leave to go do some handshaking. As that goes up in the air. Has it got enough legs on it? I don't think so. Whack a spark it out there. Takes the catch. Makes no mistake.
Well, one can say...
Welcome back, Jack.
Thank you very much. Whilst Mr. Cutler's away shaking hands with some of his friends. Yeah, one would say in such conditions you're going to have to use the overs, really. You have to somehow think a sort of plan, but maybe you can also think in your feet, and that must be a disappointment because... 102, they could have easily worked their way up to 115 just by one of all.
Exactly, and I think what happened was at the start of the innings, the Island Warriors built a lot of pressure with dot balls, and although they did recover somewhat through Manir Dar, it was always going to be tough from 1 for 10 off the first 6 overs. Or something close to that to be able to recover from there.
Not only that, but mustn't forget that 20 or 18 overs is also a long time. And it's also one thing that I always find nowadays that sometimes that you have to adapt yourself to the conditions and what's necessary. And although I must admit I feel that the Lantau Galaxy Riders have bowled very well, the Woodworm Island Warriors have bowled very well, the Lantau Galaxy Riders did not do themselves justice in their batting plan. It's very humid conditions here. Goes without saying that the ball's not going to come onto the bat. So maybe their first target of 1 a ball would have been something they should have aimed at with wickets in hand so that they can go a little bit more for the kill at the death. So one would have to say the target now for the Woodworm Island Warriors is made a little bit easier. They have with Lantau Galaxy Riders 102 all out in this second 2020 match of the Hong Kong T20 Blitz. And here we have a nice view of the ground here in Hong Kong, and you can see it's quite overcast, humid, hot, so not conducive to batting by all means, and the crowd building up quite nicely here. We understand it's a full-out, sell-out crowd here for this first competition, and weather forecast is still positive in that respect. So all in all, we're looking for a good day's cricket entertainment. So we'll go through the scorecard of the Lantau Galaxy Riders. Anas Khan, Court Swart, bowled Nadeem Ahmed for 3. H.D. Patel, Court Wakas, bowled Tanvir for 1. Wakas Khan, bowled Khan for 8. Munir Dar, very good innings, bowled Khan for 46. Mohammed Awais, Court Hill, bowled Nadeem Ahmed for 2. Mohammed Khan, bowled Nadeem Ahmed for 17. Amandeep Singh, Court Kruger, good catch on the boundary by Tanvir Afzal for 4. Nazir Ali, Court Sheridan, bowled Nadeem Ahmed off a sweep shot for 9. Kumar, bowled to Tanvir Afzal through the gap for 0. Moin Khan, Court Wakas Barkat, bowled Tanvir for Afzal for 3. KM Lee, not out 0. Extras were 9. Total 102 all out. Certainly a below par performance in this respect. The bowling figures. If I go, a fantastic effort up front. Tanvir Afzal, 4 overs, 4 for 9. Mahmood, 3 overs, 0 for 17. Nadeem Ahmed, 4 for 13 off 4. Great figures there by the Hong Kong spinner. Azhan Khan, 3 overs, 2 for 28. And Sheridan, the Australian star, showing the difficulty of bowling pace on a slow wicket. 3 overs, 0 for 32. One can say maybe still could be quite an interesting contest. 102, maybe well under the expected par for the course. But I must admit, I do not think batting conditions are quite so easy. So it will be a very good batting plan required here from the Woodworm Warriors, who have a lot of experience in their lineup. So one would say it should be advantage to the Woodworms, but to be honest about it, it's not easy conditions.
No, it's not, and you know, look, it has a muggy sort of morning, and it is. The ball was nipping around a little bit early, and I don't think that's going to happen in this second innings, which is the disadvantage perhaps that the Galaxy Riders will have. But it was really good bowling up front, and you know, I just think ultimately the Galaxy Riders batsmen weren't quite up to it. Most of them, you know, when you're looking through the scorecard, there are a lot of low scores, but guys that did spend a bit of time at the crease and couldn't score runs. So they obviously were finding it difficult and weren't able to find a way against the Island Warriors bowlers.
Well, only 2 people did. Quite simply put, and there was only one partnership, which again was also very strong and got on top of the Woodworm Island Warriors bowling, but they couldn't maintain it. They didn't think their way through. They didn't have their plan to change their plan based upon the conditions, and I feel that they're certainly 20 runs short.
Yeah, no, I think they're well short, and I think the fact that Munir Dar made 46 off 25 balls does show that. It is very possible out there to make runs, and we're going to hear in a moment from Tanvir Afzal, who bowled, three for 9 off 4 overs.
He bowled very well, didn't he? He bowled it, pitched it up where Sheridan got it wrong by pitching halfway down. I think what we can learn from here, it's pitching up is key.
Yeah, and that's what Tanvir does well. He bowls at the stumps. And we're going to hear from him now. Actually, we're going to go over to Catherine Loughnane, who's with Tanvir Afzal, who took 3 for 9.
Well, Tanvir, awesome performance, 3 wickets. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, first of all, I'm very excited to be a part of this tournament because it's first time in Hong Kong. So I think it's really good for us to play in front of crowds, and of course I'm happy with my performance.
Yeah. This was the Warriors' first game of the tournament. Was there a bit of anxiety amongst the team?
Yeah, we have a very good side, and I think we are capable to produce some good results, and you know, we have good overseas batsmen, so Jimmy Edison, so expecting a good result.
You need 103 to win. Are you pretty confident you can make that?
Yeah, we're comfortable for this low total. I know it's not easy to score runs in this pitch, a bit slow, but we have a capacity to score runs.
Right. Well, all the best. 103 to win. Go the Warriors.
Thank you.
Should hear the thoughts of Tanvir Afzal there. Understandably, quietly confident, but without being overconfident that his side can chase these runs. And it is a short change of innings here, just the 15 minutes in between. So do thank Tanvir for making some time there. He'll be a key man in the Woodworm Island Warriors batting lineup, coming in around 5 or 6. Extremely attacking batsman. And he really can hit the ball a long way. Scored 30 off and over here on this ground earlier this year against Scotland. And that was something to see, and I think that 50 in the end came off about 18 or 19 balls. So the Warriors will be hoping that he's not required today, coming in at 5 or 6, but if it does get down to a stage somewhere in this tournament where quick runs are needed in the middle lower order, Tanvir Afzal will be the guy that they look to. But Jack, is there anyone, when you look through the Island Warriors team, obviously some of the locals here in Hong Kong are a little more unknown, but you know, there's a couple of players there that have performed in T20 cricket.
Well, for sure, and I think there's a lot of experience in the team. And I was here for the 60s a couple of years ago, and I've been coaching the Hong Kong team on the odd occasion, and certainly the wicketkeepers and batsmen. But what's key is that there are some good experienced who know this pitch very well and know how to play in these conditions. And I think these are the young players of the successful Hong Kong side who will bring this home. The question is also, I believe, are they able to adapt to the conditions and adapt their style of play for what's required? And would there be anybody from the Lantau Galaxy Riders, any bowler, who could ask the question of them?
Yeah, well, that's well, on the basis of yesterday's game where they went for 75 runs in 5 overs, it was very difficult to really make a proper assessment of their bowlers because they all got hammered. So it is difficult to really see from that performance how they could stop 102 in 18 overs. But what they will do is they will have learned a little bit from that yesterday, and probably one thing they were guilty of was just providing a bit too much width yesterday. And Nazakit is someone who loves width, and he plays those helicopter shots, which I'm sure we'll see when he's plays this afternoon. Very wristy player, and he just got under them.
Well, just my observation really on the wicket and the bowling. You notice that the bowlers who bowled straight and full and on the stumps brought in the money. You also notice the spinners very quickly were able to take the pace of the ball, and the slower pace gave it a little more grip into the wicket and made it more difficult. And to hit the ball for 6 here, you have to hit the ball quite well.
To see some of the Kowloon Canton players have arrived. There's going to be a lot of them around today. They've pretty much bought half the ground out, I think, the Cantons. They've got in early with the tickets, which they needed to do because it's all sold out now. So there's going to be plenty of blue here when this game gets underway. Of course, Michael Clark will be in action for the Kowloon Cantons. Do make sure you stick around for that one. They're kicking off at 11:40 a.m. Match 2 here today. Jamie Atkinson there, just having a few warm-ups. You can even see beautiful Mongkok there here in Hong Kong. Looking out, there's some softball courts there out the back. A few balls went in there yesterday. And the Galaxy Riders just finished their warm-ups. I know on the far side of the ground there, the ice has been delivered to the buckets. The beer is over there now. And so I expect the atmosphere now to pick up steadily now that has reached that side of the ground.
I have no doubt about that, and it's always been the case here in Hong Kong. You certainly know how to put on a very good cricket tournament going through the years of the 60s. You know, the first time I was here was in 1979 to Hong Kong.
That's a long time ago, Jack.
Which is a very long time, and plenty of kilos ago as well, I may say. But Hong Kong have always put, and even those days when I came here with Surrey, the pre-season tournament, you have put on a good event. The Sixers have been fantastic, and of course we see here this is building up nicely, and we just hope here, and I hope really now the Lantau Galaxy bowlers can maybe take on the mantle more than what their batsmen have done. I think what we need here is for these bowlers now really to make it difficult, to make these woodworms work hard for their runs and put the pressure on, and I think it's possible in these conditions to do that. It's going to take good bowling, accurate bowling, great fielding. And, you know, it looks like a low score, but I would say that on good conditions, this is at least, you can have 30 runs on a decent wicket, on a quicker, drier wicket. Yeah. So, you know, it's a bit unknown at the moment, if I may say.
Yeah, it is. Well, in Hong Kong, from my experience here so far, it's always a bit unknown. Conditions often mean that teams can be bowled out cheaply, or you can have ridiculous scores. We've had situations here in the 35-over side cricket on a Saturday where Ryan, I believe it was one player made 300. Ryan Campbell made 300 as well here in a 50-over match a couple of years ago, and just purely because of the size of the ground. If you get warm in there, you can really put on a massive score. So it wouldn't surprise me by the end of this tournament we get a team making up near 250 somewhere like that. We may also see a team get bowled out for 60, but that a little bit encapsulates Hong Kong cricket. And we did see it in the World T20 as well, with some mixed performances at times through that tournament where players perhaps at that associate level perhaps don't have the consistency of those full member nations, but the talent is there.
Oh, for sure. I think, and this goes without saying, and I think this is the beauty of what the Hong Kong associations have here done, is to bring in a higher level of talent to play along with these associated level players. They'll only learn from that, and of course with Michael Clark being here, the enormous experience he has, and just being here in himself gives him a fillip to talk to a guy at a higher level. And of course Hong Kong has aspirations to go to a higher level, and this is definitely required to have a higher competition and to get the general average of the players playing Hong Kong cricket higher. Now you can only do that by increasing the level of competition within Hong Kong, and this is I think a very good fillip to do that. It's a good background for the young players to play a little bit more under pressure, maybe.
Absolutely, as the umpires and players return to the field here for the second innings. Repeating what's happened earlier here, the Galaxy Riders all out for 102. The top score, Munir Dar, 46 off 25 balls. Tanvir Afzal, 4 overs, 3 for 9. Very impressive figures. And we suspect an under-par score, but as Jack has been saying, anything is possible, and runs on the board always give you some sort of chance. So it is still humid and muggy and overcast, which means the ball might swing a little bit early.
And it's only 18 overs as well. Those
That's
two
right.
overs are also quite important in looking at what's required. So here we have the Woodworm Island Warriors opening batsman coming out.
It looks like it's going to be Niaz Ali to open the bowling. He's making his run up there. And the opening batsman for the Woodworm Warriors, Jamie Atkinson and Michael Hill. Jamie Atkinson, despite only being 25, very experienced player for Hong Kong, and Michael Hill from he's currently with the Hobart Hurricanes Victorian, and he's got a lot of experience in 2020 cricket.
So they're loading themselves up front. This is going to be interesting. So Niaz will be a left arm bowling over the wicket. Hill, you can see the left-hander, left-hand batsman. How is he going to play? I believe that he's got a lot of experience playing first-class cricket in Australia. Atkinson will know this ground very well, will know the bowler. So the game is on now. Atkinson batting well out of his crease. And there we see initial movement. So a little bit of movement, first ball, right on the dot. Now all they need to do is another 18 overs of that, then it'll be an interesting game. I am joined by Simon Cook. You're interested to see how your local players are going to get on this competition, I mean. Welcome, and how are you enjoying it at the moment?
Yeah, good morning everybody. Yeah, I'm enjoying it immensely. Obviously a great game yesterday in some trying circumstances.
Very big appeal. Now, I think there was a big appeal for caught behind. I'm not quite sure, Simon, but certainly a lot of in-swing of movement off the wicket, which just goes to show the conditions are maybe not quite so easy as people may think.
No, that's right. And the game yesterday was played on a used pitch, which is a little bit flatter, probably a little bit less bounce than this one. Early morning game, certainly very humid here, so the overhead conditions along with the rain that's around is making it a bit sporty. And I think 102 on the board represents probably a slightly below par score, but I don't think it's certainly it's certainly a defendable score on this wicket from what I've seen in the last half an hour.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Woodworm Island Warriors go about batting. I believe in that respect, Lantau Galaxy lost away at the start and at the end. Did very well in the middle, but I believe this has got to be at least a one-ball to start off with. Certainly the first to get used to the pace of the ball. Vital here to get used to the pace of the wicket.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like I said. I think it is nipping around a bit. I think the new ball spell will be crucial probably for both teams. If the Warriors can get an early breakthrough, or sorry, the Lantau team can get an early breakthrough, then they're right in this game. Conversely, obviously, if the Island Warriors can get through this initial 6-over period with as little damage as possible, with around 30 or 40 on the board, they're really in the box seat.
Angled into the pad. You see the batsman here actually batted out of the crease, trying to make the ball come onto them a little bit quicker. I think they realise it's a slow wicket, so both of them are batting out of the crease. But there's a little bit enough movement to keep the bowler and the wicket-keeper interested.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see there's a slip in already, and that's certainly a vital position. I think certainly in this phase, batters are going to be trying to negate that swing and trying to put the bowler off. As you can see at the moment, he's sticking with his lines and lengths pretty well at the moment, and the batsmen haven't been allowed to really get away and put the bowling side under any pressure.
Well, it's Niaz. I think you might be interested in him as being the Hong Kong coach, of course. A 23-year-old, as you can see, a left arm medium bowler, and using the conditions quite nicely. He's not trying to bowl too quickly, he's just putting the back of the spot and making the batsman play against a difficult ball.
Great shot there. Just slightly over pitching and really allowing the batsman's hands to go through the ball. Probably want to stay away from that sort of length on this pitch for as much as you can. But yeah, going back to your initial point about my interest in a lot of the players in all four of these teams, definitely a lot of interest for me, how they cope playing in probably the highest standard of cricket that they would have played, and how they deal with the pressure playing with and against some very good players from around the world. So yeah, it's very good. We saw Mohammed Awais yesterday play a very, very good innings. He's in our national A squad, and you know, he really came to the fore and started putting his hand up for us, noticing him and pushing for a national squad place.
Absolutely ideal. No, exactly that. So that was the first over gone. 5 very good balls, and a bit of the commentator's curse for the last ball. But then again, a very good shot by Mick, showing his experience by a compact shot, hands through the line, great shot over mid-off for 6. So here comes up the second over. Jamie Atkinson on strike. Left arm medium or left arm fast are quite popular in 2020 nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's these things kind of go in phases. When T20 was first introduced, there was a fear that spin would go out of the game, and spin actually went on to dominate the game. As batting techniques and attitudes have moved forward, as have bowlers. Bowlers have had to adapt, and the left arm over angle has come more into the game, and certainly you'll see now Jamie's.
That was a very good shot, a low full toss swinging onto the stumps, but Atkinson again just getting the timing right, playing straight. One of the few shots we've seen up until now is a straight drive 4-4, a very good shot, and again batting within himself, punching the ball, not trying to be too flamboyant or overdoing it. I think the technique we require for this wicket.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is certainly a watchful wicket, certainly when the ball's new. Just slipped a bit too wide there as he was trying to push the ball across him. But yeah, just going back to the point with the bowler's evolution, and yeah, the left arm over and also left arm round. You've already seen in the first innings in this game with left armers going round the wicket trying to cramp batters up. I think you'll see that more and more often as we go through this tournament and also in the other tournaments around the world. It's just trying to create that extra edge, that extra angle, that different angle that's going to put batters off.
No more than well by motion. Who's a young guy, playing for Little Taiwan, 17 years old. He's been quite impressive in local cricket, so I presume that a little bit more interest from you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Mosen's been in and around our youth setup for a while now. And like you say, any time you've got a left arm bowler who can just swing it in a little bit, it doesn't have to be at great pace as long as he's got good control, which he has. He's suffered with a few injuries recently, but he's pretty much just over pitching again there slightly. Good bit of fielding, tidied up there by Munir Dar. Yeah, he struggled with a few injuries here and there over the last 12 months, but yeah, we're really looking for him to again kick on into our National A programme because we've tried to target areas where we are slightly deficient, and left arm bowlers is an area where we haven't got a lot of depth here in Hong Kong, and so we'll look to invest time and money and resources into these young guys.
Which is always a good know of how associate cricket has really improved throughout the world.
Just looking to try and get it full and straight here, Mosen, and he's just slightly lost his swing a little bit. I think I'd probably like to see him try and hit the pitch a little bit more and get that little bit of swing, try and induce the edge. His conditions are in his favour. Certainly now he's facing a Jamie Atkinson. I think you know, the danger ball for Jamie is that ball coming back in towards the stumps, and so I think if he can do that, hit the pitch hard, he brings Bowl and LBW into play. He just over pitches again. I think this is probably a slight error, either tactically or technically. I'm not sure which, whether it was an error in execution, but yeah, just slightly over pitched and got punished in that over.
Also a great shot over the covers there. I think it just goes to show how cricketers nowadays have to think on their feet. You know, it's very good to bowl to a plan or to preconceived plans, but I keep arcing onto it. You know, okay, you've seen we need to bowl the ball fuller, but if the batsman is batting well out of his crease, then you obviously have to drag your length back a little bit and give the effect going. And this is sometimes lost to the younger players.
Absolutely, I think you have your A game, you have your best ball that you're going to bowl, you have your field that you want to get set, and that's what you want to repeat over and over and over again. And it's up to the batter to challenge the bowler to change that. That is happening more and more and more in T20, and you have to adapt. You have to have a B game to go to, and sometimes even a C game. The ball just slid down the leg side there. It's going to be a wide. Again, extras not really going to help in defending this low score. We've really got to be nice and tight and not give anything away.
Lantau Galaxy continuing with the same attack, the left armers. Of course, the batsmen now putting a little bit more pressure on the bowlers. No football, if they overpitch, they'll be dispatched. So there's a little bit of pressure on these young bowlers, and it'll be interesting to see how they go about their game and how, in fact, the field is set for them. So Niaz is bowling at the moment, and it looks to me as if he has one on the deep square leg boundary, so he'll be looking more or less to bowl as full as possible. But it's a little bit a field where it's for everything. There's nothing really defined. It looks, I think, one on long on, one on square legs. It's more of an onside boundary he's covering, which maybe he should maybe look into put a bit more other sort of pressure and drag it back a little bit and have the people squarer.
Yeah, the field he's got is really dictating a very straight line, particularly now that's a much better line in length, but particularly now the keeper's come up. Third man is up, so he can't really bowl too wide, so he really has to bowl on that fourth stump's probably the widest he's going to have to go, and then look to swing it back so that he can protect that square leg and long on area. And
the Lantau Galaxy have quite an experienced captain as well. So this is the blend of what we need in this game. This is why it's not just a bish and bash, this sort of game. It's a lot of thought going into it as well. Slower ball, pitched up, driven to long on. A little bit of it more thought by the bowler there. At least it's good to see he's thinking about things. So one can say that the T20 cricket in these circumstances is a thinking game as well.
It's massively a thinking game. I mean, it's a game that exposes you very, very quickly if you're not right on your game, and you just need to be thinking really clearly. As soon as he starts his run up here, he needs to know exactly what he's going to bowl, where he's going to bowl.
And at the same time, the batsman will know if it's in a certain area, this is where I'm going to play it. So that was a very, very good shot. I'd say, again, a little bit more over pitched than is really required for this wicket, but the batsman waiting for the ball, which is key in this wicket. Wait for the ball, play it late, and then hitting through the line.
Yeah, that's right. That's the disadvantage now, is that the players generally have very clear plans, but with a clear plan, obviously, becomes clarity with regard to where the ball's going to go. That's very fortunate there. He's got away with that.
Brave fielding. The ball added a lot of pace at him, and but he got his body behind it and saved the boundary, if we can say, because it's a compacted ground here. So anything gets past the field tends to go away for a boundary.
Yeah, it's pretty small ground. Certainly straight one side, very, very small, and the bigger boundaries are square. So. Really, your bowling plans have probably got to dictate you try and make the batters hit towards the bigger side.
Absolutely, and needless to say, to state the obvious, wickets now a bit of a requirement.
Yeah, we've seen in T20 that wickets will stall the run rate as quickly as anything, and like we said right at the start here, you really needed 1 or 2 early wickets in this power play to really kind of put the wobbles on the Island Warriors and just get those nerves going for the kind of middle order coming in. But they've done it well so far.
So that's another low full toss, just nicely played away for 4, and the score is now, if you can just bear with me, 1 minute 30 for no wicket of 4 overs. So Woodworm well on target to take this one, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good at the moment, aren't they? We do see, though, in T20, you lose 2 or 3 quick wickets in a row, you suddenly string some dot balls together against some new batters, and you never know what can happen. But yeah, currently at the moment, they're looking pretty solid.
So another change of bowling here, and it looks to me as if it's another seamer. The keeper is standing a long way back, so one would presume he looks as if he might be quite rapid. No hint of trying for spinner. I'm not quite sure of the Galaxy bowlers, but are there any decent spinners or spinners who could possibly change the game here?
Anis Khan bowls left arm spin. He's not a bad bowler, and I absolutely agree that he probably should be on at the moment. We saw in the first innings there was Nadeem Ahmed was getting some quite useful spin, which made it very, very tricky to play and score. I mean, you almost got to the point. I only watched a few balls on the live stream on the way here, but it looked like it was really tough sticking in the wicket and a little bit of bounce as well. So I think yeah, probably missed the trick a little bit here in not introducing spin earlier on.
Well, here we see this right-arm bowler, changer bowler, coming slanting into the batsman, trying to tuck the batsman up a little bit. It'd be interesting to see if we're able to get any movement. Interesting to see that they persevere with the seamers, although at the end of the day, by the Woodworm Island Warriors, you had one seamer that took 3 for 9 and one went for 10 and over.
Yeah, again, I think that's just where you look to pitch the ball and different types of bowler. You know, this guy just looks a little bit skiddy. He's a kind of a bustling kind of run-up. Doesn't look particularly smooth, but he looks like he gets it through. Looks like he gets it through all right. And Jamie there just caught on the crease and trying to force that ball off the back foot, and ended up just edging through to the keeper.
Yes, I think it was quite a wide delivery, which was not really necessary to play it, and indeed skiddy through, taken by the keeper. And the Warriors are 31 for 1. Bit of a shame for, I would say, if Fosa coach would not be happy with that shot.
No, it was a bit flat-footed swing, wasn't it? And you know, Jamie's been very, very good for Hong Kong for a number of years now. But if you would probably lay some sort of criticism at him, and there's not much you can, is that his feet tend to get a little bit stuck early on in the innings, and then he flays outside off stump. But you know, that's T20, and you know, he probably felt he was in 4 overs. Thought they were controlling the game. He was going to really kind of take advantage and push it on.
Okay, and now we have Mickey Swart, a very famous Dutchman. I live in Belgium, so the Netherlands I know a little bit about as well. He's done very well, of course. He's Dutch qualified if you judge the name by his father, but he's a first-class cricketer, Western Australia, a lot of experience within the game, and now you've got, I would say, quite an experienced pair of batsmen now at the crease, and it'll be interesting to see how your young guys get on. Yeah,
definitely, very experienced, these two. Mickey Swart we've played against quite a lot over recent times against when we've played the Netherlands, and he's done pretty well. He's typically an aggressive player, likes to favour the onside as much as he can. I think. Is there
anybody nowadays who favours the offside?
There's not too many. There seems to be a lot of people getting across onto off stump and outside, trying to whip it over square leg, but or over fine leg. But yeah, the offside seems to be a dying region in the game. But you know, it's probably going to come back into fashion as bowlers target leg stump more and more and more. It could come back into fashion, probably will do in the next sort of 12, 18 months.
Many runs in the bowl.
Again, I think it's a better length. I think just running in, hitting that length, fraction short, but certainly a lot better than letting the batters get onto that front foot. You got to try and use you got a new ball in your hand. That's the best time to get wickets. That's what you got to think about. Try and think positively in that first 6 about getting wickets rather than negatively and just trying to not go for any runs.
So short ball swatted into mid wicket, and Mr. Swart.
Yeah, and again, it's a set plan. It was you try to push him back, and then they've got a man out in the deep mid wicket boundary for that exact shot. So good bit of bowling. It's been a great over so far. Clear pieces of thinking and decent execution.
So Maini bowling particularly well already as a wicket in this over. Skiddy, good pace. Let's see how these batsmen will take on to this, whether they'll adapt their play. Of course, the Woodworm Island Warriors requiring less than 1 ball to win the game, so you should be able to knock it about a little bit, but nowadays people don't look at it that way. They tend to keep within their style, and when the ball's there to hit, they will hit it.
Yeah, I think there's kind of, I guess, gone are the days where you just, you know, if you're chasing a low total, you just take your time and bat. You know, if the ball's there to hit, you hit it. That's the modern way, whether that's a change through better wickets that you're playing on, bigger bats. But I think they're in a decent position here now. Mickey Swart can actually just play himself in, and you've actually seen a couple of dot balls and then a single for him. He looks fairly calm at the crease at the moment.
So the latest is a very good over, showing utilising the conditions very well, taking the wicket of Atkinson in that over. So the Warriors are 32 for the loss of 1 wicket. 5 overs gone.
So Anas Khan, Munir's obviously been listening to us, and Anas Khan is now going to come on to bowl his left arm spin and see if he can extract a little bit of turn and try and induce a mistake.
Another bowler from Little Taiwan who seems to be producing quite a lot of interesting Hong Kong cricketers.
Yeah, Little Taiwan do produce a lot of cricketers. They've got a very good youth system. They've got a women's team as well, and they and a lot of youngsters. And they ultimately do produce a lot of cricketers for Hong Kong, and it's teams like Little Taiwan, Pakistan Association, along with KCC or Kowloon Cricket Club and Hong Kong Cricket Club, kind of forming the vast majority of the player pathways through into our national setup. Not too much spin there first up, but very good line, right on the money. Mickey Swart just very watchful, just trying to assess conditions before he probably launch an assault, more than likely over mid wicket.
Well, we saw this before with Nadim. You know, the ball's not coming on. The more flight you give it, the less the ball comes out the wicket. So footwork is important. Discipline is a batsman. It's important to make sure you cover the ball now. And maybe I believe in this respect the batsman now will maybe just look to work him around until they get used to the pace off the wicket.
Yeah, that's right, and it is going to be a case of trying to adjust a little bit. It's not a flat belting wicket, and we're going to see lots more shots like that where batters do go to try and either drag it or hit it down through long on, and it's going to stick in the pitch, and they'll get a thick inside edge through either mid wicket or mid on, and it's not that straightforward to hit. So you've got to really kind of pick your options, pick your boundary options, but also more importantly have your ones and your twos options available to you when your boundary option's not there. There we go, as predicted. Great slog sweep over mid wicket as he really gets used to the pace of the pitch.
It was interesting then, I think Swart was taking his guard outside off stump. So obviously looking to favour hit on the onside. Let's look again.
Yeah, and this is something that you know, that's a great bit of cricket just there. This is something that we don't see so much in club cricket here in Hong Kong. Is the ability to hit the boundary ball and then be controlled and get the one-off strike down the other end, and then you're really controlling the game when you're rotating the strike as well as hitting the boundaries. It's not really many areas much Anas can do here. They're really looking to target him in the last over of this power play.
Well, that's also, you can see left and right batsmen, and you can see the difficulty, and it's interesting for you as a Hong Kong coach to see how he copes with it. Of course, they're airing down the leg side. He's got his fielders more or less straighter, which would be more for offside bowling. But unfortunately, he's not able to adapt, and the batsmen showing their expertise and skill in knowing if the ball's slight offline, where the fielders are not, place the ball there, and you don't have to take a risk.
Yeah, that's right, and that all comes about. You made the point about batters batting on off stump, changing their guards, and you change your guards slightly by 2 or 3 inches, and you play the same shot. It translates to probably a 5 or 8 metre difference on the boundary, which potentially could be the difference between either getting 1 run or getting 4 runs. And it's those sort of things that we don't see so much in club cricket here, which is why it's great for our club cricketers and our national cricketers here to actually experience and talk to, you know, guys like Mickey Swart, Michael Clark, who's playing for the Cantons, about how they go about their business and playing certain bowlers and in certain situations.
Good, here we have the Warriors at 45 for 1. In control, lovely short arm jab. Fantastic diving stop on the boundary by the Lantau Galaxy. That certainly saved 2 runs. Bit of a wild throw, but really efficient fielding, good fielding there, just showing the motivation these players have.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just goes to show as well that, you know, it's not just about batting and bowling. You often win and lose games in the field, and if you're the better fielding side, it can save you 10-15 runs in a T20 game.
Short of a length, just pushed on the offside for 1, and I must say that perfect piece of fielding just now was done for a man in the deep. I'm saying a man deep. A napped now for somebody fielding on the boundary, but at least it was great to see him dive into the left and showing his motivation. So I think the Warriors are now totally getting on top, pushing the ball around. These 2 batsmen brought in by the Woodworm Island Warriors to strengthen their middle order, really doing their job there, really doing their business.
Yeah, that's right, and it's what you expect, certainly as a coach of any team. You expect your top 5 or 6 to really be doing the job.
What a shot, what a shot that was. I'm sure his hand will be smarting for a little while after that. A great stop by the bowler. I'm not sure if he could do much about it, but Hill really cracked the ball very hard, and I would say very brave fielding by the bowler, which certainly saved the 4 runs.
Definitely saved 4 runs, and it actually highlights kind of an issue that we're starting to get to now with T20, which is the safety of bowlers and umpires with the balls being hit so hard now. We can see here that, you know, Hill's just standing slightly outside leg stump, which means he's really trying to make that room and target that short boundary. Anything that's pitched up to him, he's really going to look to try and flat bat it back over mid-on, mid-off. Even though there are 2 fielders there, it's only a sort of 50-metre boundary, which is pretty small.
So how would be the communication now between the bowler and the captain as to where he's going to bowl the ball? Because you see the batsman taking a different stance. What is the communication there?
So I think it depends on what they do. Obviously, they can't. If batters are changing their stance ball by ball, it's very difficult for captain and bowler to change the fields. But I think that it's where, certainly in T20, bowlers are going to take more responsibility over understanding what the batter's doing and what impact that's going to have on what ball they're going to bowl. And if they want to make a change or move someone slightly a yard left or right, then they can. It comes back to what you were saying earlier on about being adaptable.
And percentages.
Yeah, and percentages. You want to hit. You want to be playing the high percentage game. And that ultimately probably means that you producing your A game, your best ball, more often than not. And that gives you the highest percentage chance of success. You just need to align that with the correct field for the batter, and that might be different for different batters.
Exactly. Well, here we are now, still the Warriors on top of the game, 51 for 1, and the commentary is about to change, and Max Abbott will be taking my place. Thank you very much, Max.
Thank you, Jack. And there'll be a double change in the commentary box with a smiling owner of the Woodworm Island Warriors, Simon Millington, who joins us. Simon, you would have to feel pretty happy with this current situation.
Yeah, very happy indeed. I think our guys have been very professional. Both the bowling was superb from Nadeem and Tanvir at the top of the innings, which gave us a great start. And Hilly here and certainly Jamie and now Swarter of what's nice to see is they're playing proper cricket professionally, trying to get the job done.
And I know, Simon, you certainly know Michael Swart particularly well.
Yeah, we've had he was up in the sixes here, the last sixes. He came up with the Netherlands team. Certainly did very well there, both on and off the pitch.
A keen fisherman, I believe.
The boy does catch some fish. If you happen to follow him on Twitter, you'll see he a prolific fisherman.
He's 22 off 14 balls here. At the non-strikers end though, as Michael Hill, 22 off 14, and Mickey Swart 14 off 10. And Michael Hill, what was the thinking in getting Michael over?
Well, we were lucky when we got the team. So we had 2 players who are Woodworm players in Swart and Will Sheridan, who are both sponsored players by us. And Hilly is a great friend with Will Sheridan, and he said, he'd love to come up and play. And obviously, we were delighted to be able to get somebody of his quality up here. So, and obviously opening batting at the top of the order. And I think for everybody here, all the youngsters here watching, the way he's gone about it, playing proper straight cricket shots, on a slow wicket, showing really the way to play.
He played for the Australian under-19s. I believe Michael Hill was a prolific scorer in juniors and has played a fair bit of first-class cricket for Victoria. I think in many circles in Australian cricket probably say that he hasn't played as many games as he should have for Victoria, given the talent he's got, but so certainly a very handy acquisition, have someone of his talent at the top of the order. And still a bit of power to come as well.
Yeah, we've got a bit of strength and depth there as well. So, as I said, we're very happy. We've got, we think a very balanced squad, and some big hits. Tanvir, who is a genuine all-rounder. He's a very
great shot,
clean hitter of the ball.
So down it.
Actually, sorry.
I was just going to say, down that long off boundary, that's going to be an interesting place to field down there. The Lama Cricket Club have got 3 tents together and an esky full of drinks of some sort.
They're looking splendid in their jackets down there, and I'm sure this afternoon it will be a bit livelier in that part of the ground. Michael Hill actually played a season in the Birmingham League for a team local to Woodworm, actually, Nolan Dorridge, a Birmingham Premier League team, and did very well over there.
So he's got good English background.
English roots, as most of the Australians have, of course.
Well, certainly in a very dominant position here at the moment. 1 for 55. And 48 off 11 overs is a pretty comfortable situation. As a neutral here, Simon, I'm looking to just see them really try and finish this off quickly. I mean, net run rate could be important in this tournament with only 3 games each, so no reason with a few wickets in hand just to try and finish the job quickly.
Absolutely. I don't think you can see Swart. I don't think he'll be hanging around too long. He certainly likes to get on with it, and judging by the way he's breathing, I think he won't be wanting to do too many singles. It's very humid out here today as well for him.
So that's actually going to go for 4. He's picked the gap between long on and long off. Ground announcer Jed just starting to warm up with a few sound effects there. Won't be long before we hear some of his wisecracks through the afternoon. Or you at home won't be able to hear it, but we will, Simon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And the two batsmen out there, Swatty is breathing a little heavily out there. Swat.
It's looking a little heavy as well from side on. So you can see a little bit of leg spin now.
It's Ming Lee coming on to bowl here. Big moment here for him. Looking forward to seeing him bowl, actually.
Yeah, it's hopefully, you know, he was down at the Sydney Sixers as in their rookie program this year, and I think that will have improved his game an awful lot.
Yeah, I actually watched him playing against Kowloon Cricket Club recently. Took 3 for in a game there and gave the ball some nice flight and got a bit of drift. And nice delivery to start. Nice bit of drift into the pads there.
Absolutely. I think with Ming, he's always been a good bowler. I think he'll definitely have benefited. He's always turned it, but he's will have benefited from his time down in Sydney and improved his consistency, because he was a bowler who'd be, you know, 3 or 4 deliveries would be good, and then it would be a couple of boundary balls in there. But I think he certainly tidied that game up after his time down in Sydney. So I think we'll see a lot more from him.
Well bowled. So, and not easy to bowl to a left-hander here with the size of the boundaries with wicket spinning in. So I can see very quickly where Michael Hill is thinking about playing him to. Ming up to it so far. In the air, and I think that was a chance.
Certainly a difficult chance, but has gone for 4.
Well bowled again from Ming there. He just beat Hill in flight, but didn't quite get it, but still goes for 4, as can happen here in Hong Kong, where victory from a bowler can still mean 4 or 6.
Yeah. It's a shallow victory sometimes, that's for sure.
Slided that one up this time.
That's 6.
This time it's victory, both moral and result. For Michael Hill. See the wind there last night blew down those soccer goals down there. It's a T3 tropical depression.
It was, yeah.
Yesterday, which means just a few gusts of wind and some showers.
It definitely sounds a bit more dramatic than it is. Yeah. Although I did land in it yesterday. T3, it's a bit blowy on the runway, but
full toss and a misfield out in the boundary. Harsh to say misfield. Munir Dar is not 23 anymore, but that one getting under him.
I don't think anybody knows.
No, he still struck the ball very well earlier today. That's a lost ball. That is out of here. And Ming, after bowling a pretty good first few deliveries, has disappeared into the crowd a couple of times, and before he knows it, his over's gone for 21.
Yeah, it feels a bit harsh on there. He certainly started well, but I think when Hilly got him in his sights there, again, nice to see him playing straight. Some good shots there once he got playing straight.
It's pretty tough for the, I think probably for the leg spinner at that end to bowl to a left-handed batsman. It's the shortest boundary down to that corner where Hill was hitting towards. And one thing that over has done, if there was any doubt at the result of this game, as I can see, I think that's the Optimists, the Hong Kong Cricket Club Optimists on the left there, having their end of season drinks here today. You've got Amandeep Singh coming on to bowl here, or continuing to bowl. So as a man that's been in Hong Kong, involved with Hong Kong cricket for a while, Simon, this tournament in general, is it something that's been spoken about here for years and sort of coming now to fruition, or it's something that's taken you by surprise?
I think the success of it has taken everybody by surprise. I mean, we've probably been very focused on the sixes as really the tournament that says, when people talk about Hong Kong cricket large, they'll say, oh, the sixes. So it's, what we're known around the world for. But that hasn't happened for the last 3 years. And, sometimes as focused we've been on that, we've perhaps not considered the T20 format as much. So having launched this as this franchise system, it's been incredible, the success. And obviously having, people such as Michael Clarke come up add great value to the tournament around the world.
Edge down to third man, just be a single. Niaz Ali does the fielding down there. Yeah, it has taken off. I mean, it's been only in 2 months as well. Imagine that. I know organisers are already got an eye to next year. We're certainly knowing that there could be, with a bit more planning, improvements can only be made with more time.
Absolutely. I mean, time, and also, the time of year when, we're in the English season, we've got the IPL on. So, as the tournament grows in stature, the possibilities of bringing more and more big names over, the time of the tournament is absolutely crucial. So,
I think given it's the end of May, we did have a heavy downpour yesterday, but I think by and large right now, given what the forecast was for today, we'll just take the humidity today. Oh, that's a good shot. And it's 6. I don't think he actually got all of it, but still comfortably went halfway up the side screen there from Michael Hill. And that's also his 50. He's got the helmet off and everything. He's pretty happy.
Beautiful.
So for the Lantau Galaxy riders, fortunately for them, it's going to be, I think, probably impossible to make the final from this point, having lost their first 2 matches. They've got 1 more tomorrow. A bit unlucky going down in the Super over last night. Having to back up here this morning. In a tournament like this one, Simon, that first game is absolutely vital.
Absolutely. You definitely want to get the win under your belt. I think you're going to have to win at least 2 of your games to qualify for the final. So you certainly, like last night for them, it's a struggle, and then obviously they got off to a slow start this morning, so the pressure really got on them. There's a bit of glamour there in the...
Is that the Woodworm tent?
That is the Woodworm tent. We're the glamorous tent, other than Steve Atkinson, Jamie Atkinson's father there.
I really hope those crowd shots this afternoon when you're in there, Simon, are zoned in.
Been very calm in there this afternoon, especially against the Cantons, the Cowling Cantons. We're looking forward to that game this afternoon for sure.
I did love your comment this morning off air about Michael Clarke.
Yeah, as an Englishman, I've always been delighted to see Michael Clarke get out, and the sooner the better as far as I'm concerned this afternoon.
So in case you're wondering, Simon Millington is the part of the syndicate or the owner of the Woodworm Warriors, and he's pretty happy at the moment because his team are poised for victory here in their opening game. And perhaps using this as a bit of a guide for the rest of the day. I mean, we did think at the time during Lantau's innings that it was under par, and I think being 91 off 10 overs probably suggests that perhaps par the rest of the day could be more around that 170, 180 is what you're going to need.
Absolutely, yeah. And it was interesting to see our guys as well, the spin this morning. You know, we talked about yesterday only 1 over of spin, and it wasn't successful, but certainly the way Nadeem bowled today was outstanding. So I think spin will get more and more important here. Michael Swart, another quick single for him.
Loves those quick singles.
He does. He's very, very quick between the wickets. Wide ball signal there by umpire Gidwani.
So your match against the Cantons this afternoon, Simon. That's the one I'm sure you're looking forward to most. A few close friends in that team of yours.
Absolutely, there are a few.
Oh, bang!
There's been a little bit of banter flying around with
That's
Ryan Campbell and Ashley Caddy amongst others, but. You know, they're the all-star team, and you know, certainly the team to beat. So it's going to be very interesting, and I'm certainly looking forward to see whether Ryan Campbell accepts Michael Clarke's glove love, because he's very passionate as Ryan about not liking glove love too much. So I think I'm really looking forward to see if he leaves pup hanging.
Well, that's a great shot down the ground. That'll beat the fielder, and that's victory for the Woodworm Island Warriors. They've got up in the first match, so they join the Hung Hom JD Jaguars with a win on the board from their first game. Unfortunately for the GI Lantau Galaxy Riders, they are out of the running, and a convincing victory in the end. Galaxy Riders made just 102, and it's been chased down in the 11th over. And Simon, I think a good sign for the rest of the tournament for your side.
Yeah, very good. I think, you know, we'd have to put that down as a very professional performance. I'm absolutely delighted with the way they played there and gone about it. So.
Mickey Swart looking pleased with his work.
He is. We're going to need to get some oxygen, I think, for him, but he's got a few hours to recover now. But a great, again, professional performance by both those guys.
Yeah, and of course it is just the half an hour in between matches here, so not much time. The two teams all trade places in the dressing rooms. A lot of movement around the ground, and very shortly we will be having an interview with the man of the match, which will soon to be announced, and a preview with Dean Jones and Captain Lochnan on the next fixture. Just running through the scorecard there in case you missed any of the action. The Lantau Galaxy Riders were sent in, and that proved a good decision from the Woodworm Warriors to send in the Galaxy Riders. They reduced them to 102. Manir Dar, 46 off 25, the only player to really get going. Muhammad Khan, 17 off 16, the only other player to get into double figures. They did recover there from 4 for 31 to 5 for 73, but were always behind the 8 ball. And as Jed really gets going here, the ground announcer's starting to really warm to the task as fans start to enter the ground. And Tanvir Afzal, 3 for 9 off his 4 overs. A very good bowling performance. Nadeem Ahmed snuck 4 wickets in. Felt like I didn't even notice that.
4 for 13, I know, and tremendous.
And spin can play a role here.
What he did very well was the change of pace. You saw him constantly deceiving the batsman, and that quicker ball, I think, certainly accounted for 2 of them bowled. So.
Yeah, so in response, the Island Warriors chasing down the score of 102 with absolute ease in just 9.3 overs. Michael Hill in the end 66 off 28 balls with 7 fours and 5 sixes.
And yeah, I mean, interestingly, he didn't time it in the middle spell.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was very, and you know, like I say, very clean hitting, but quality shots, which is great to see.
So do just hold with us, mate. We'll be back shortly with an interview with the man of the match.
Thanks, guys. Joined here by Nadeem Ahmed, man of the match. Congratulations, 4 for 13. Were you expecting that?
Thank you first. First of all, it's not easy, especially on a small ground. But as a team, we've worked really hard over the last 2 weeks, and coming into this tournament, I think it was a great effort.
Did you know what to expect? Did you have a little bit of background knowledge as to who you were up against?
Yes, because we've played a lot of cricket against each other, and like if you're top of one of the top bowlers in Hong Kong, you should know like each and every player, so you know where to bowl. So that helps a lot, you know, like when you're going into a big tournament like this, T20.
You only needed 103 to win. Were you pretty confident you had it all tied up?
Yes, especially if we've got 2 overseas players batting Michael Hill and Swart. They're one of the good hitters of the ball, and they hit hard. So we knew like they'll get it under 10 overs, and which we did actually. Yeah, and let's not take this away. And then Cantons are like tough team as well. So hopefully we'll give them a tough time as well.
Exactly, you got a little bit of a break now, and then you're up against the Kowloon Cantons later on in the afternoon. You're up against people like Michael Clark. How do you feel about that?
It's just treat him as a player as well. It's not like he has played a lot of cricket, no doubt. But when you're competing with equal levels. There's like no difference between him and us. Yeah.
I like your confidence. Good luck for this afternoon, and congratulations.
Thank you.